Adam Duritz, the lead singer of Counting Crows, has recently shared some candid insights into his relationship with actress Courtney Cox during the mid-1990s. In a new documentary about the band titled Counting Crows, Have You Seen Me Lately? Duritz delves into the complexities of their romance, highlighting how their fundamental differences made sustaining the relationship challenging over time. The musician, now in his early 60s, explained that while the pairing with the Friends star was one of his longer-lasting relationships, it wasn't without significant hurdles. He noted that Courtney Cox stood out as perhaps the person he spent the most time with romantically, but even then, there were periods where they weren't truly connected in the way a couple might expect. Duritz emphasized that their connection was marked by both highs and lows, with moments of genuine joy interspersed with difficulties stemming from their contrasting personalities. Duritz described them as very, very different people, a factor that frequently put them at odds. He recalled instances where everything felt perfect and wonderful, but these were often countered by times when things became really hard to navigate. The core of their issues, according to Duritz, boiled down to not being on the same wavelength. This misalignment in their outlooks, values, or perhaps daily rhythms ultimately contributed to the end of their romance. To provide context, Duritz's connection to the Friends world began earlier when he was set up with Jennifer Aniston, Cox's co-star on the iconic sitcom. That brief encounter didn't lead to anything substantial, but it paved the way for his relationship with Cox, which garnered more attention due to its duration and the public profiles of both individuals. In the 1990s, Counting Crows were riding high on the success of albums like August and Everything After, with hits that defined alternative rock radio. Meanwhile, Cox was becoming a household name as Monica Geller on Friends, a role that catapulted her to stardom. Reflecting on this period, Duritz's honesty in the documentary sheds light on how celebrity relationships can be amplified by external pressures while also facing internal incompatibilities. He doesn't paint the relationship in overly negative terms but acknowledges the reality of why it didn't work out long-term. The admission that they weren't always really together, even during the relationship, suggests phases of disconnection, perhaps due to busy schedules, touring commitments for the band, or the demands of Cox's rising television career. This reflection comes as part of a broader exploration in the documentary about Duritz's personal life and how it intertwined with the band's journey. Counting Crows have long been known for introspective lyrics that draw from real experiences, and Duritz's openness here aligns with that artistic ethos. By discussing past romances publicly, he offers fans a glimpse into the human side of fame, the joys, the struggles, and the lessons learned from failed connections. Expanding on the theme of differing wavelengths, one can imagine how a rock musician's lifestyle, filled with late nights, creative bursts, and constant travel, might clash with an actor's structured filming schedules and Hollywood's social scene. Duritz has been vocal in the past about his struggles with mental health, including dissociative issues, which might have added layers to personal relationships. While he doesn't directly link those to the Cox romance in these comments, it's part of the broader narrative of his life that the documentary explores. Courtney Cox, for her part, has moved on to other high-profile relationships and a successful career beyond Friends, including roles in the Scream franchise and directing projects. The fact that Duritz speaks of her with a balanced perspective, acknowledging the wonderful moments alongside the hard ones, suggests a mature hindsight, free from bitterness. In celebrity culture, relationships from decades ago often resurface through documentaries or interviews, allowing stars to reframe narratives on their own terms. Duritz's comments serve as a reminder that even seemingly glamorous pairings face the same relational challenges as anyone else: compatibility, communication, and alignment in life goals. His willingness to admit that they were out of sync demonstrates growth and self-awareness. The documentary itself appears to focus on the band's history, hits, and personal stories, with Duritz's romantic reflections adding a personal touch. Fans of Counting Crows might appreciate this vulnerability, as it echoes the emotional depth in songs like Mr. Jones or Round Here, which often deal with longing and disconnection. Ultimately, Duritz's honesty about the relationship with Cox illustrates a universal truth about love. Sometimes, no matter how wonderful certain moments are, fundamental differences can prevent long-term harmony. By sharing this, he contributes to a narrative of authenticity in an industry often criticized for superficiality.